Hi Lori, this recording is for you. I thought it would be much better if I could do a little recording on how to set up your platform so you could have it at all times. Okay, and here's what I'm gonna do. So when you download the platform for the very first time, you know that you have all those probably 6 charts or 4 charts that you have on the screen. Well, a simple way to do it, and the way I have it on my computer, is to have like one big chart on a monitor, because you need to watch like all the price action that has happened a while back. So this enables you to see the psychology of the price action. So let me just shrink this a little bit. So this is probably how the platform is going to look, and I'm going to just swirl it around a little bit right here. So we have like 4 charts. So the platform is probably like this, and you're probably going to have a black background, and I could show you how to set up your chart so it looks exactly like mine. So probably you have something like this, like I said, with a black background with no indicators on it or anything. So what you need to do right now is I'm going to focus just on the first chart right here, and you can see the maximize button. I just click it once and there you go. You have a big chart. Now in order for you to set up the white background and not to have any kind of grids or any kind of other stuff that is here, and to have the green candlesticks and so on, what you need to do is right click on your mouse and then go to properties. Now here on properties, I'm going to leave the settings on for a few seconds here. So if you have a second monitor, or you could just put it parallel to this one, and you could set up your platform side by side. So let's just recap a little bit. So for the background, I have selected white. For the foreground, I have selected black. For the grid, because I really don't want to have the grid on, I have selected white, because there's no way to take the grid out. But if you have it white, same as the background, it won't show. Now for the bar up, I have it black, and remember this is the surrounding of the candlestick, so we can see the wicks, so they're more prominent. So for the bar up, we have the black. For the bar down, we have the black as well. And now for the bull candle, I have lime green. Now you can select any kind of shade of green that you like, but I just think this lime green really looks cute and sharp on the charts. For the bear candles, I have red, of course, red, so I selected red right here. For the line graph, I have black. For the volumes, lime green, a little bit different than the candlesticks, although we're not going to use this one. For the ask line, I have red, and for the stop levels, I also have red. Okay, so after you have all these settings on, and remember what you can do right now, you can pause the recording until you have everything filled out on your platform. So after you have done all the settings like this, you just hit OK, and you're going to have a chart that looks exactly like this, minus these indicators that are right here. So we're going to talk about these later on, and I'm going to be sending them to you in an email, and how to install them and all that good stuff. But we're going to talk about how to color code them in this recording as well. So one more thing that I wanted you to have on the chart that is actually useful is you can see that I have the Marketwatch right here on the left hand side. Okay, and underneath I have the data window, and in order for you to get the data window right here, you could actually go to view and click on data window. And what this would do is this would actually put it right here. Okay, all right, now don't forget, you could actually move them around, or you can make them bigger or smaller. Okay, so you can play around with them. Now the cool thing about this is that this platform is a little bit different than all the other platforms, and once you click on it, there's no clicking on the candlestick, so you could just have a little pop out window that will tell you the high and the low and all that stuff. But when you, let's go to a candle closer to this window so we can talk about it. So when I put my cursor on this candlestick right here, this green candlestick, you could see in the data window the date that this candlestick was formed, so 2013 July 17th, and then you could see the time. It was at 8, and you could see the open, the high. When this candlestick opened, you could see the high, and this is basically what we want to know. We want to know the high that is at, let's say, 1.52445, and the low that is at 1.5092. The open and the close, not really that important, but the high and the low, there's no way of knowing that. So of course there is this cursor, like of course you remember how to click this cursor. Okay, I actually have it in the middle of my these two mouse buttons. I have a little wheel, and I just click on that and just place it up. I have the cursor, and then of course you could have this, and you could see the approximate level, and of course you don't need, in Forex you don't need to see the exact precise level. You know how it is. And then again for the bottom as well, so you can actually eyeball it, you know, with very tight approximation, 1.5092 right here into this area. Okay, so all right, so in order to get rid of the cursor, right click or left click on any mouse key. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the indicators, and let me just go to a 15-minute time frame here. So because I'm a visual person, I really like to have them color coded because it's easier for me when I trade. And I have the high of the day and the low of the day in blue. I have the resistance lines in green because it's meaning it's going up, so it's going green, and the support levels are red for me. And for the neutral part of the chart, the yellow one, I selected a yellow, the mid pivot point, I selected a neutral color like yellow. And because I don't want these lines to really clutter my chart. And now I have these gray lines right here that are the exact distance between their mid pivots, and these are areas where you're going to see the price consolidate from time to time. So from the low right here to the high right here, this is the approximate middle point, and these are gray. So something that is not going to interfere very much with our chart in our visual, right? Okay, so let me show you how you can select these colors. So like always, we right click, and then we go to indicator list, which is right here, indicator list. And we're gonna have a little pop out. Mine popped up on the other monitor. Okay, so I just dragged it here. So you can see right here that I have the SDX TZ pivots. Okay, and what I do is I go to edit, and now what you want to do is go to this tab right here where it says visualization, and I don't want to have it on all time frames, okay, because these are daily pivots and these are good only for intraday. Okay, so first of all, you have to have M1 selected, M5, M15, M30, H1, and H4. Okay, and you have to have this selected, show in the data window. Make sure that if you can't follow along, you can pause this recording so you can make your proper adjustments. Now go to the color tab. So for the color tab, I have nothing selected, so it's probably default black, so I'm not even going to bother with this one. We're going to go to inputs, and this is the most important part. This is where the color coding is. So for the local time zone here, you select 0. If you have anything else selected, just double click and you can input the value right here. You can just type it in, but I'm not going to make any changes. For time for destination time zone, I have 0. If you have anything else, make sure you double click on it and type in your 0. Now for the line style, now the way I like them is nice thick so I could see them. Alright, so I selected a 3. So same procedure, double click, type in 3, and then move on to the next one. Now the line thickness right here on the second one is also 3. Okay, so make sure you double click in the value column right here. In the value column, type in your 3 and move on. Now we have show pivot points. Of course we want to show the pivot points, that's why we have the indicator. So make sure that if you have anything else selected than true, okay, it should be, so anything else, it should be true, okay, because you want it to show up on your charts. Now let's go to the colors of the pivot points. Now if you select to have any kind of other type of background, you might want to have different colors for this, but usually these colors work really well with a black background as well. So feel free to choose any colors you like, but this is just my personal preference. So for the pivot color, I like the yellow. And a simple way to select, if you have anything else selected there as a default, you can see that there is this little arrow down, and is going to show you the color wheel, let's say, in which you can select the yellow. So you just click on the color and it automatically selects the color for you right here. And then the support color, again, if double click in the value column right here, and then if you have a different color selected, make sure you go to this bottom arrow, down arrow here. Okay, and you know what, excuse me, I'm still under the influence of Dayquil and NyQuil. okay, so please select the red right here. And let's move forward. Resistance color, I selected the green. This color right here is the resistance color. So you can see it right here. You can see the lime. You just click on the lime and go. move forward to show mid pivot points. Now, show mid pivot points, you can actually, and this is a personal preference, you could have them on or you can't have them, or you could select not to have them on. But if you select to have them on, you could select true, okay? But just so you know, there are a lot of traders that don't like to have these mid pivot points on, so they just take them off entirely. So it's up to you. I like to leave them on. Okay, and for the color, like I said, it's a light gray, very light gray, so it doesn't interfere with all the other colors. Okay, so I've selected the light gray right here. Personal preference, you could actually select any type of color that you like. I selected something neutral, like that yellow, for the mid pivot right here. So pretty neutral compared to the blues and the reds and the greens. Okay, so there's this color right here. Now remember, if you can't follow along, you can pause this recording at any time. Okay, now for the line style mid pivot right here, so this is the thickness. I selected a 2, and same procedure. Double click, type in the number, and with the mouse move on to the next one. The next one, line thickness, again, the first one was the line style, and the second one is actually the line thickness, so it's 2. So these are both 2 and 2. Now for the label color, I have selected black, and the label color is the writing right here. Okay, so when it says yesterday's low or yesterday's high, or MR2 or resistance 1 or pivot, that's the label color, so that is black. If you are using a black background, I suggest you use a white here. So same thing, double click, down arrow, and you could select the black, or if you have a black background, you could select any shade of light or cream, or these colors right here. Okay, now let's move forward. Now, show comment. I have false. We don't need any other comments. So again, if you have it true, make sure you make it false. Now, show high, low, and open. These are the most important things on this chart and in Forex in general, because we want to see anything that trades above or below these lines right here. So make sure this is true. Okay, make sure this is true. Select the true, and let's move forward. Now, high, low, open, and open colors. Now this is the low of the day, high of the day, and these are for the previous days. And right here it actually coincides, so that's why we get this very, very thick line right here, but this is the open. So the open coincides with yesterday's low, so it opened low right here. Okay, so what we need to do, sweet spot color, we don't need this because we're not going to use this. It's totally useless, but make sure you select the blue, right? Okay, so it's good on black background and it's good on any color, so make sure you select the blue. Okay, so show these lines and show the blue. Now for the Fibos, we don't use their Fibos, so we don't need to use them. Fibo color as well, we don't need to use, since it's false, we don't need to color code anything. Camarilla, we're not using this method. Again, no use to select the color. Show level prices, we're not going to use this one. Day separator, I use the day separator. Show level prices is true, so make sure you select it to true. Alright, if it's false, switch to true. And day separator, I like it black. Okay, if you have, again, black background, make sure it's white or any kind of really light shade of white cream color. Day label as well, black. So this is the horizontal, this is the vertical line right here, the dotted line. Okay, so this is the day separator, and it's very important to have the day separator into Forex. It's good to have it in any chart, but for Forex it's more important than any others. Okay, so again, bar for labels, I don't know what this is, but it's 10, and I'm not even gonna bother. And debug logger false, I don't know what it is, to be honest, so we're just gonna leave it the way it is. Now take your cursor to common and make sure that you have this deselected. Allow DLL imports, it's not selected, and allow external experts imports, you have this selected. Now once you have all this, make sure you hit OK and then close, and you're gonna see them generate on your chart. So I will send you an email with the instructions on how to install the indicators, and after you receive the email, install the indicators, then you can go on and customize your platform to the colors and background of your choice. So I really hope this little video was helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.